Hi everyone, Light 487 here. Just recently I got some new flavours from Liberty Flights. Today I'll be just doing a couple of them, and then I'll do some more over the next week or so. Today I'll be using my new Gary Dibley's pass-through, USB pass-through to vape everything on. And I've got a brand new red coloured 510 atomizer with a metal drip tip, okay, and the green one that I had on my last video, also with a new drip tip. I'm going to start off with the D DOF, so big D apostrophe big D OFF. I'll just sort of get the focus right. There it is there. Liberty Flights, e-liquid, nice simple packaging. You can see, they list the ingredients and everything properly. Now this one, it's actually quite a red juice, surprisingly. A lot of tobacco juices are more this sort of colour, the yellow, pale yellow colour. I've got a sort of comparison here. Here's the cappuccino flavour from Liberty Flights also, and together, this one, I'll turn that around. Yeah, I mean they're almost identical colours, so it's sort of a bit off-putting really. I'll put the cappuccino over there. The actual fragrance is surprisingly strange as well. It sort of does have, sort of a, in my mind, it's sort of a creamy, sort of almost chocolatey sort of, a smell. So I'll just have a vape of it. So as you can see, there's plenty of vapour from this particular liquid. The throat hit, it tends to be quite mild. I give it, 6 or 7 out of 10 for the actual strength of the throat hit, and even over sort of the course of a couple of hours or whatever of vaping it, the throat hit stays fairly constant, doesn't get overly raspy from vaping it constantly. Yeah, so the flavour on the intake, it tastes sort of like, it's toffee like, but it's got a creaminess to it. But it's also got a tobacco sort of, I guess, not really peppery, but it has that distinctive sort of tobacco-y sort of taste and raspiness, even though it's not extremely raspy, that you would expect from a tobacco flavour. But it's certainly a creamier, maybe, I wouldn't say vanilla, more like a chocolatey sort of taste. So it's sort of like maybe a cigar or something like that. That's like a flavoured cigar. So that's an interesting one. It's quite a pleasant vape to change from more of a standard sort of tobacco flavour, which is what I'm about to switch over to now. The second liquid I'm doing today is Stuyvesant. Now Stuyvesant is a it's a brand of cigarettes. Peter Stuyvesant is the actual brand name, and they used to be a favourite type of cigarettes that I used to smoke when I used to smoke. It's the standard sort of pale yellow colour, there's the, I'll just focus in on that. So you've got Liberty Flights, e-liquid, Stuyvesant 24 milligram, again with all the nice clear ingredients in there, okay, and the warnings and etc, etc. So the smell, not a lot of smell, to be honest. I mean, maybe someone with a better smelling ability could smell more than me, but it's almost non-existent sort of smell for me. But the actual taste is certainly there. So again, plenty of vapor. The throat hit on this one is stronger than the DDoF, and it's quite, like chesty. It does over time become a little bit raspy, like a real cigarette would. The actual flavour on the intake, it's slightly nutty. And very toffee, well, not very toffee, but it's nutty and toffee like, but more sort of toffee than nutty. So it's sort of like the smell, what there is of it, and the taste is similar to Highway. So if you like Highway, you might actually like this. Highway is very nutty with a little bit of toffee. So this is sort of the opposite of Highway in that sense. The difference with this one comes when you're exhaling. So on the inhale, it tastes, as I say, like the opposite of Highway, but then on the exhale, it actually becomes really smoky and very cigarette-like. So yeah, it's like I say, it's no sort of vaping liquid's ever going to be exactly like a cigarette, but this comes really close. It's really a good fix if you want that cigarette sort of taste. But as I say, not on the inhale, so you sort of start soaking in and you think, oh, it's just like any other vaping liquid, it's not quite like it. But then on the exhale, that's when you actually detect that more cigarette-like taste. So maybe for people who are not used to that cigarette taste anymore, they might be a bit put off by it. But I think it's still a very nice vaping flavour. This one has become a favourite for me. This one I ordered a couple of weeks ago, or maybe 3 weeks ago, and vaped through the whole 5 mils, pretty much in one go, like not in one day, but as soon as I'd started vaping it, I pretty much couldn't put it down or change flavours to anything else until I was basically finished that bottle. So I've actually ordered some more. So this is actually the second batch of Stuyvesant that I've got, and Liberty Flights now have 30 ml bottles of this particular flavour, as well as other ones, of course. So with my next order, I'll definitely be getting a 30 ml bottle of this one. The actual throat hit rating I'd give it is around an 8, 8.5, 9, that kind of thing. But like I say, if you're sort of vaping it, if you're like me and you sort of tend to have, like 5 or 6 vapes before putting it down, you'll find by the time you get to the end of that 5 or 6 sort of vapes that you're starting to get a really sort of raspy, cigarette-like feeling in the back of your throat. So anyway, that's two of the flavours I've got. There's a couple of other ones that are also my favourites that I've ordered a second time. One of those is Virginia Blend, and Virginia Blend's been around, you know, probably since the birth or just after the birth of electronic cigarettes. So it's not a new flavour, but it's one flavour that I hadn't tried from Liberty Flights, and when I did get it, I found it really nice. So I'll be definitely reviewing that one in my next video, along with another one that I choose at the time. Anyway, thanks again for watching.